our speaker of the month, Donna Barr, who will tell us about the convention scene in the Olympic Peninsula. Give it away, take it away.
Okay. Uh, well, I'll tell you what, I'm going over here just loading up one of those pieces of art, so I could say that's proper. Okay. I was jumping back and forth on me here. Come on, you. I'm sorry. Silly computer. Come on, computer. Do what you're supposed to do. Thank you. Anyway, Olympic Peninsula, where real quick, years like 7 years before COVID, I decided because somebody told me you couldn't run a convention up here. I said yes, I can, and I ran it in Cleveland Bay for 7 years. Got some really, really easy rules of doing it. You can do it yourself if you want to do it. It's at donnabarr.com. You go, it's just Olympic Peninsula conventions, and you can find out how to do it. Anyway, uh, what happened is Raincon and Forks jumped off of that. Okay, so they died during COVID, but they came back, and they are coming back more every year. And then because of that, we got Squatchcon going, okay, in Port Angeles, and the Olympic Peninsula Olympic Collectibles Expo in the Kitsap Mall is expanding. So we got a bunch of expansions going on up here. Raincon is it's in November, and Raincon is going to have more and better stuff, and it's the only convention you can go to. You can camp. Peninsula the Peninsula Comic Con, which is Squatchcon, and it's not just a Squatchcon. It's Comic Con. It's got everything in it. It's in Port Angeles, and it's in April. And that was well, this was supposed to be a big secret about the expansion. You know, I wasn't supposed to tell anybody. But 5 minutes after I was told it was a big secret, I had people showing up at my table saying, "What is this about the move?" And it turns out that SquatchCon is seriously looking about holding next year the convention, at least the main dealer day, down in the fairgrounds
Hmm.
by the airport, which is bigger. And possibly then evening events in the hub and Bob's studio and all the rest of the places it was doing. This year they also had stuff going on. Believe it or not, they had gaming going on in the Masonic Hall.
Hmm.
And next year they're talking about events in the Elks Club.
Mhm.
And I think one of the things that gets these fraternal organizations looking at Comic Cons is because, like Cartoonists Northwest, we're aging and they're aging, and I want the younger people in there. So we're looking at that. So that's what's going on with SquatchCon. I had a lot of fun with the table next door to Pat Moriarty, who showed up, and he got uh, a good reaction from the community. We had an English guest who's a voice for World of Warcraft, and he came in and he had a good reception. Everybody had a good time. Everybody showed up. They made their money. The field hall was involved. The convention hall is going to be involved. So that's two conventions that are expanding. And then you got the Olympic Collectible Expo, which every year has been held at least two events in the Kitsap Mall in Silverdale. And I've already put my ticket down for a new one because evidently the Suquamish Casino people showed up, looked at what JD Sweet was doing in the Kitsap Mall and said, "We want one." So in September, they're going to have a Comic Con at the casino.
Hmm.
So there's a new one, even though he's also running another one in in October in the Kitsap Mall. And the other thing he's talking about, since some of the mall spaces have died, basically Comic Con people are talking about invading and taking over malls.
Hmm.
And the malls are beginning to go, "We like this idea." So what may happen to all these dead malls is Comic Cons move into them and spaces that normally would not be workable. So that's kind of like where we are right now. And when I tell you about the convention, I mean we had great cosplay, we had great sales, we had great. I did a promotional thing where I was getting rid of my extra comic books, and I'll tell you why. I had whole boxes under the bed. Roberta knows what I'm talking about. And what happened was I saw a kid that had, and when I say a kid, he's probably, compared to me. But he evidently could not sell all his back stock and got really mad about it, and he burned it. And I went, oh, this isn't going to happen to me. And it's going to happen to me. So I thought the best thing I could do was I would take a great big box of assorted comics, of which I had many, 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 and I put them on a special place on my table, and I used them to raise funds for the conventions. So, here's some free comics, put some money in. For Squatchcon, I raised $150. And I probably raised about the same for Olympic Collectible Expo. So I'm considered kind of like staff on all of these. So I'm using that backstock for that. I'm going to still have a stack, enough for me to sell, but I'm 73 and this stuff's going to go away. So that worked out real good. So made some more funding. That's what's going on with the conventions. They're fun. There's good things going on. They are expanding. And we're talking about getting a lot of people out here. And I even was poking the idea that since it's down by the airports, all we got flying to Seattle now is a local airline. It's a couple of local planes is what it is. And they go down to not SeaTac, but they go down to the Boeing field, which is a little difficult when you consider, where people have to show up and how they could get out to the Olympic Peninsula and how they could come into there. But I'm thinking, and I'm pushing the idea of getting commercial airlines back into our airport. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it would be nice. I mean, those things went away a while ago. So that's kind of where we're sitting with the convention world. Anybody got any questions on that? You kind of know where we're sitting, and they're still buying, Pat had his table and room paid for, and I do all the time because I come in there and I'm involved in so many of the different events. Oh, and I managed to dump Free Octopus on the cosplay and theater community, so I don't have to run it anymore. They're storing that stuff up in Bod's studio, and one funny story about that. It's cracked me up. I found at the thrift store a huge electric blanket, and it looked like gray velvet on both sides. And I didn't pull the wires out or anything. It wasn't working. But obviously from the smell, a dog had been sleeping on it. Well, somebody's old dog probably died, and they left it down there. Nobody wanted it, so I took it. And I figured all this gray velvet, imagine what you could do for costumes with that. So I get it there, and every time I go up there to check on things and work out for other events like the drink and draw and everything, I notice that thing is kind of like put in a corner. And finally I go up and I said, oh, did somebody take it? No, we hid it. And what do you mean you hid it? He says, we want to keep that because we want to have that as a throw. And I says, it smells like dog. He says, oh, they all do. We don't wash them. They just come in. So we have decided that somebody's old dog who died now has his or her bed, their bed at Bob's studio and can sleep on it on their chairs and sofas. So that's what we've decided. So we had a piece that people literally were fighting over, and that was fun. But remember how Deadpool characters and Harlequin characters just run rampant at these shows? They bomb into the middle of things. There's no way of controlling them. Well, our Squatch, which is our big blow up Squatch, and you never know who's in there, whether it's a little kid or a girl or an older guy or whoever, he has taken to bombing into the middle of panels and butting into things that generally be in trouble. And when he does, it causes access to new ideas and laughter and everything up to come up. So Daryl is definitely a major player now, and very, very, very funny when he shows up. He rammed into the middle of, Pat and I were on a panel about, I can't remember what we were talking about. It was, working with odd things in comic books or something, and Daryl ran into the middle of it and added to it. So I can't remember what all the panels I was on. There was a lot of different ones. So that's the kind of fun goes on up here. Plus there's all kinds of good things to eat. That's the conventions, but they're growing and they're getting bigger. What I'd love to do is I'd love to see it at the Jamestown Casino, because God, that thing is gorgeous. Maybe spread that out a little bit. And I'm trying to remember what happened to the little Comic Con that used to be in Squim. and I'm trying to get a hold of those people. They run a podcast, but
Hmm.
I have somehow gone from being a person who runs, who does comic books to a person who is on staff of a bunch of
Mhm.
Peninsula Comic Cons. Oh, and I now have a Discord, and I don't know what the link is, and I got to figure out how to use that thing. My friend Thea set it up because she's into all that, but I decided to call it Donna Barr and all her works,
Hmm.
which you get the joke, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going to go with that. I'm going to play with that. So anyway, I mean, that's basically what's going on, and they're all expanding, and I'll be at Squatchcon Squatchcon short run this year, I'm sure. I will, hopefully I get a table. I applied, so I'll see what they want to do with me. If they want me, I had a free table the last time, but unfortunately I couldn't make it because of my knee. That's the convention world on the peninsula.
Mhm. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, and when I was down there last year getting my license, I talked to somebody in Hoquiam about having a convention down there, and they were like, because they got the space down there. So we'll have conventions all over the Olympic Peninsula.
Mhm.
It'll be a hoot. I know it's not much of a talk, but that's what's going on.
Indeed. Covers it all.
And if you really want to see, if you got Facebook, go over to their page. All these places have got pages that you can look at what the artwork is. You can look at what they're doing. You can look in on the planning. You can volunteer. They need volunteers. Ooh, do they ever? Because these things are growing. I know, shortest talk we ever had. Anyway, I told the other people to show it, but I don't think they're going to because they are so busy getting ready for these things.
And the weather's gorgeous.
And it was gorgeous. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what they say, don't do business with people in Seattle on a gorgeous day. They're just not gonna have their heads in the game.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow.
I mean, we try to keep them the good days, the good weather a secret, but word gets out.
Mhm.
It does get out. Well, it gets out because there's no use dealing with us when it's nice. We're just not available.
Mhm.
So yeah, costs are good. RainCon's getting better. You got camping at RainCon, and I used to have fireworks at my convention, and they got all kinds of good stuff going on
Mhm.
in Port Angeles and Silverdale and the casino and Forks, and it's spreading like the red plant in War of the Worlds.
Yes.
We're
So
not-
RainCon is the one in Forks.
yeah, it's in November,
Hmm.
and
That's an odd time.
I know I don't know why they do it in November, but they do it in
Mhm.
November, and
Is that the one
possibly because everything is so crammed in the summer,
Mhm.
and this is some free space, some free time. We just got the bowling alley involved,
Mhm.
where
Yeah.
they can put their little stand-up creature because that guy's a big friend of it. So I said we need a bowling event.
Is that the one that you said was cashing in on the success of Twilight as far as bringing people in?
No, it doesn't, because Twilight and Comic Cons are two different things.
Right.
Twilighters have been treated badly.
Mhm.
They've been treated badly, especially by the loggers originally, because the idea was that, oh my God, it's a different fan club from me, the Macho Man in the woods.
Mhm.
But no, they are not cashing in on that. In fact, they're gamers,
Mhm.
which is a whole different group. And oddly enough, they very often have archaeological speakers.
Really? That sounds
Yeah, I know, it's
very
odd.
cool.
It's very cool. And the first year they had it, I was camping because it was earlier in the year. And I had promised our archaeological speaker a beer around a campfire. And later on, when we were settling down for the night, I said, "Well, you probably don't want to do this. You're probably tired." He went, "One beer around a campfire." So I said, "I tell you what, I'm going to go get some beer, and I'm going to start a campfire." And he says, "Okay," and then I got to go do things. So meet me here, here, here. I'll show you how to get there. And so since he'd been in the military and I had too, we told stupid military stories for half the night, drinking beer around a campfire. So he was happy.
Mhm.
And since Forks is just this little flat town that I don't know why they don't have more bicycle shops, because it is flat as a pancake and you go any place you want on a bicycle all the way around town, all the way out in out of the woods, out in the various places they stay. But and there's the Mexican market, which is right across from the bus station. Which boy, when you get an elote from them, the cob is like that big, and it's $1.50.
Right.
Oh, and it's delicious. You know, Bill, you know what elote is. It's the corn in the cob with the cheese
all the
and hot
flop on
peppers
it. Yeah.
yeah. And I was starving after a long day on the bus, and it was like, oh my God. Also, they give a fruit cup that's like this, chopped fruit cup. That
I've seen those things for sale, but I've never had
yeah,
one.
I haven't had one, but anyway, that's the towns they're open. They're open. What else to say?
Yep.
I'm sitting here admiring things, looking at the weather. I can see the sunshine coming into Roberta's room right there. You can see the sunshine outside in our yard.
Yep.
Well, I'll tell you what, I guess that was the con report. I haven't got anything else about the travel is great because everybody can take the transit. The food's great. It's fun up here. People don't, although right now we are over on the Friends of the Olympic Peninsula on Facebook. We're warning them. It's dangerous. Please be careful up here.
I mean, the weather?
Everything, the traffic, going out in the woods. These people will go up above Soldat Farm Falls. They'll climb up above there and get trapped. And
somebody died there. What, a couple of years ago, I think.
It happens all the time. People just disappear all the time. Of course, we don't have the serial killer anymore, thank goodness. But he never killed in his own area. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I remember.
Don't shit where you eat.
I remember having a very interesting talk with a ranger, and I think it was Rainier, where he had a whole ton of stupid hiker stories.
Oh. We're on there constantly telling them, watch out for the drivers. Do not do this. Take water along. Do not, because it's deadly. I was talking to an EMT once, and I says, well, we had all those. When we moved up here, there was all these flyers for missing guys, missing campers, and that was part of his hunting grounds. And he went after guys because they were available. He was not picky, but she says, oh no, not just him. People disappear up here all the time. They fall in a narrow river. They get sucked under by the undertow. They get stupid with a canoe. It's not your living room. It's huge. You will not believe the itineraries people type in. We're going to do this. We're going to come to Seattle, and we're going to do this and this and this. We got 3 days, and we're going, whoa.
Yeah, we're looking at the same group. I remember that group. Yeah,
it's like
we're flying in from Kansas, and we're going to be in Port Angeles, and then we're going to be in Aberdeen, and
we're going to a lot of places.
Yeah.
And we have to let them just slow down. First of all, our drivers are nuts. Our roads are terrible. They're not terrible. They're just twisty as hell. They're dangerous, and they're in a lot of time.
And they're often getting worked on. Yeah.
Yeah. They're in the summer. They're working on them.
Yeah.
Because they slide into the water. And we tell people constantly, be ready to get trapped. Have alternative things. There's lots of alternative things to do. If you can't make it out to the hole, mess around at Lake Crescent, just stay, and be careful. It's like Barnes Creek. I once had some beer and a din or two, but I floated away from the shore at Lake Crescent, and I kind of looked back, and I saw a black cliff that went right down. Right straight down. I was a little drunk, so I was not scared. But then I floated over by Barnes Creek, and right at the edge of Barnes Creek, right at that end where the little kids play, the cliff goes boom.
Ooh, a drop off.
Straight down. And it's a drop off. You cannot see the bottom of it. It's a black cliff. And I'm like, cool, that's kind of wild. And like I say, I had Dutch courage. I had the beer with me, so I was not terrified, but people come up here and think, yeah, I'm going to go do this. I'm from Rhode Island or whatever the heck it is, and it's not dangerous. So, and they do not. They don't realize it's the street I live on is called Frontier for a reason.
Yep.
Oh, I've seen people do. Oh God, I'll never forget the guy that decided he was going to take his big ocean canoe out into the waves coming into Clallam Bay. Everybody thinks Clallam Bay, it's so little, it's so safe.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He got flipped butt over tea kettle into the reef, and I'm standing there, and his friend was like, "Oh my God!" And he said, "I told you not to do that." You know, I saw a guy get his family abandoned up on the gravel cliff, and they said, "To hell with this." They wouldn't get back into the boat. They had to walk around and go. Lucky they didn't drown.
Mhm.
It's like it's Clallam Bay it's. I mean, if you want to see great tide pools, they're easy to walk to.
Nice.
And there's the Toast and Jam pub, and the bridge is going in.
Mhm.
We
Oh, a
hope.
new bridge?
Well, they got a new bridge, and it's
Mhm.
been in a couple of years. It's just it goes out until the season comes along. They don't
Oh.
have it in,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
they have a lovely bridge goes all the way over, and it's about to go in. So we're
Mhm.
gonna get the bridge in there, and then
Good.
after a nice long walk to burn off some calories, stop in for dinner at the Toast and Jam pub, which is
Mhm.
wonderful.
Oh,
It's they took that old dive bar and they basically turned it into a West Seattle bistro pub.
Hmm.
It
nice.
has got they got these swirly fries that God, I found out how they made them. Don't remember what it was, but it was crazy. They've got sweet potato fries, which are incredible. And what they have is desserts. Oh my God, they're desserts. They're big, crazy cakes and pies and cinnamon buns, and they go crazy on that stuff. So, and good coffee and good drinks and everything. So they're right there, real friendly and providing jobs for the kids. You know, so we're so happy they're still in place. And as usual, I have places I like. Local report.
Hmm.
There's your convention scene. Come up, go to the conventions, be careful, enjoy. There's lots of things to do, lots of buses.
Very cool.
I'm sorry, I didn't have any more to say than that. It was just I couldn't get a hold of anybody. It's going into summer. They're just not available. They're busy. They're going into
Mhm.
conventions. I tried.
Yeah.
A whole
Yeah.
list of people. I keep asking them.
Yeah, I'm on the Studio Bob email list, so I get they've got a lot going on there. Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes I wish I would lived in Port Angeles just so I could go to the Studio Bob events.
Hmm.
But I'd always have to stay overnight.
Well, I'll come into town and we can get a place and stay over and find
Well,
a good event and let me know because I don't know, my little Subaru isn't running, but the minivan is. I think I can drive that around, and it's
yeah.
practical.
Well, if nothing else, when it comes to Port Angeles, you don't
Mhm.
need a car.
Yeah.
You just get your butt down to the Bainbridge Island ferry, and you grab the straight shot, and it takes you right into Port Angeles, right down where all those things are going on.
Mhm.
Studio Bob is right on the edge, and there's lots of places to stay, no
Mhm.
problem at all. And it runs 7 days a week. So if you wanted to get home on a Sunday, you
Well,
can.
that's a little harder to do from where I am now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
No,
that
that's
is rough. That is very, very
Mhm.
hard where you
Yeah,
are
you
now.
definitely have to.
Yeah.
yeah. I keep sort of been doing a little research of that for the logistics of a potential photo tour.
Well, like I say, if you can make it to Bainbridge Island, um, you can make it.
Oh yeah, it's pretty.
I mean,
Yeah, it's
if
pretty
if you do
practical.
not want to take a vehicle, which I'm talking to Bill because he's got a bike,
Hmm.
Hmm.
and if he can just get down there, take his bike with him. And the buses that run the 1, 2, 3 are former Greyhound buses.
Uh-huh.
They got luggage. They got the big luggage containers underneath. You can put your bicycle in.
Hmm.
You put all your luggage, so you're not stuck with just a city bus that you may or may not be able to get a space. They have a great big luggage spot underneath. It's Greyhound buses, and
Nice.
they've repainted them with seascapes and deer and trees.
Nice.
Very pretty, and you can just jump on board of those. And so, you know, you can do that. It's harder for Roberta to get down here,
I
unless you have,
definitely have to drive. I mean, it's like
yeah. Yeah, you have to drive, unless there's a park and ride and taking some conveyance to downtown Seattle or something.
Yeah, well, that's,
You
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
something like that. I mean,
Funny,
it's
I've been
difficult.
living out here for 25, 30 years, and I still occasionally get surprised by just how spread out the place is because it's
Mhm.
not Rhode
It's big.
Island.
It's big. It's big. The peninsula is the size of most eastern states. I mean,
Mhm.
trying to tell, and like I say, Roberta can tell you about the itinerary.
Oh,
Some of these
sure,
people
yeah.
are just like, oh my God,
And
you're
out
not
here,
gonna.
it's all like water and islands and stuff. I mean, you have
Yeah,
to go to Whidbey Island and catch the Coopville ferry, and yeah, it's
yep, yep. You got to do that, and yeah, you got to go to Whidbey Island. You got to drive
mhm.
across to an island and then go down. At least you got a bridge
Yeah,
or a couple.
yep.
You got a bridge. You can go to Coopville, and Coopville, of course, we hope it's running, and it's especially when you got a
Mhm.
storm going on, or if there's just heavy traffic.
Or low tide. Yeah,
Gives a low tide.
yeah,
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 poor old Coopville. She gets stuck in the low tide
yeah.
very easily. It can be rough. But if you make it to Port Townsend, you can, head
Mhm.
over here. So these things can happen. These things can happen. Well, we can all get together at Short Run, and we can all get together for your book signing, which you say is, I hope, May the 8th. I got to make sure Larry lets me know
Well,
so I can get a
August.
room at the
Yeah,
hostel. What's
yeah.
that? August the 8th?
August the 8th, I think. Yeah, I think it's
Well,
that
I'm going to
Saturday.
bother Larry and say, when is it? Because then I have to reserve for the hostel, and
Mhm.
especially in the summer. I want to make sure I can get that. I can use either hostel now because I can get up and down the stairs.
Nice.
Mhm.
Although I've really fallen in love with the American Hotel Hostel because it's a central hub. Yeah. Although I could catch the 124 right from the other one. It's no problem at all. It's easier
Um,
that way. I kind of got used to that now. It's a little more pricey, but it's a central hub and it's really nice kitchen. They don't
I
allow alcohol, but big
yeah.
deal. There's a
I
bar around
splurged.
the
I got
corner.
myself 2 nights at the Georgetown Inn. That's like right there.
Yeah.
And there's enough places in the vicinity that provide that cover the alcohol problem. It's barely an issue.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, my favorite dive bar just around the corner there, from the Chinatown gate.
Oh, is that the one across the street from the the light rail station?
Yeah. It's a
Oh,
little dive bar. It's just
I've never
it's
actually gone into that one.
it's a dive bar, but it's quiet. People just
Mhm.
go in there to have a beer. Nobody's making any noise. I remember I came in the first time I did it was I had gone up to Emerald City to sign in. And of course, after a long day of travel and signing in and
Ugh.
everything else, I was coming back and I got off and I was walking back toward the China Gate and did a double take because there was a dive bar and I went, I need a beer. And I went in there and it is now my little, place I can go in case I'm exhausted
Mhm.
and I can get into. And it's quiet. Yeah, it's quiet and it's prices are the same. And, if you're down there and you need a beer, it's quiet and it goes on. They're not jumping up and down and screaming or anything. Except, I don't know, maybe they'll have a sports night or something. They usually do. But actually, there was sports going on and nobody was screaming at it. They were just sitting there having their beer. I think they was just tired.
Mhm.
I think it's the kind of place people go after a long day at work and they just want to have a beer.
Yeah. Mhm.
I think that's all it is, which is the kind of place you need. It's not fancy. Yeah, don't be afraid to drop in. And I recommend those little places, and they got little shops all around. I can stop in and get some instant coffee or whatever. I usually take a bag of ramen and stuff along with me because you know what it is. After a long day at a con, if you can't get anything else, hot water out of the coffee maker.
Mhm.
Okay. Although the hostel's got a hot water tap.
Mhm.
One of those boiling water taps. It's really nice. It's real pleasant. So, but you can go up there and just sit there and have some ramen and die for the evening. So anyway, um, yeah, I'd love to see everybody, and I think the next time we're going to be able to see anybody is Roberta's signing.
There's
Let's see.
something
I
to look
suppose,
forward
or
to.
yeah,
What's that?
or I might want to come out to the peninsula now. Now that the weather's nice. And I'm up for long distance driving, so that's
Let me know.
possibility too. Yeah. I'm gonna stay away from Seattle between mid-June and mid-July. That's all they're working on I-5 and they're having the World Cup. Yeah.
Oh
That's
yeah,
right.
I was at the street fair. They gave me. I got a copy of the itinerary of all the work they're doing on it.
Oh man.
So
Well,
yeah.
we are getting to the end of the fish travel fix-ups. Where everybody, well, they're redesigning all that's the bridges that go over streams so the fish can get up there. And at first there was complaints from people. It was like, how come we got to pay for all this and have to put up with this? Hey, you broke it, you fix it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's to get the salmon back up into there. And yeah, I know it's the peninsula. They do things different, but they're kind of getting to the end of any of that huge construction. There's always the problem when you go over the Hood Canal, you got to wait for a submarine.
Mm-hmm.
We have our own little problems out here. But Roberta, you'd just be coming down over like you say, Coopville, hoping that it's behaving itself. And like I was telling Bill, I finally got my bed fixed to where I actually found a support for it once I got the comic books out from under it. And so if you need it, I have a nice comfy bed here with lots of covers. So if you want to, because I remember last time you came up after our craziness all over the place, you just kind of laid down and that was it until the next morning. Hey, we could go swimming again.
Sure. Yeah.
Don't let them leave that. I mean, if you're going to go to a Studio Bob event, go swimming. Get some swimming before you go. You always got a bed here. No problem. Yay. Well, I tell you what. Well, it is 6:14.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, have we had a good meeting? We've kind of just chatted, and I wanted to maybe talk to Bill at one point. What we need to have what will Cartoonists Northwest be meeting, which might be good for the next time. What are we going to do with Cartoonists Northwest? How is it going to work? Who's going to do what? Because Bill's been doing everything. I've been a speaker, and then Maureen is going on the parties and stuff. So we might want to, for those of us who are actually on staff, we might want to just get together and talk about what you want to do. Unless that's all been taken care of.
Definitely something worth considering.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, Roberta, anytime you want, just give me a yell if you want to hang out on the peninsula. And there's a lot going on here. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going down Studio Bob. Studio Bob's
there is,
masses of stuff. We got some drag shows and stuff coming up. So
fun. Good.
Pick one. Pick one and let me know. And I've got a lot of medical things I've got going on because I'm I'm old. And appointments for Dan. That kind of thing. But other than that, pick an event, and we can event on the Olympic Peninsula. Or if you have an event you want me to see up in La Conner, I'll come up.
Sure.
No problem. Well, great meeting, I guess.
Indeed, yeah. So anyway, thank you again, Donna, for for filling in our Sunday a summer slot, and I hope to see all of you for the drink and draw in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yep, gonna be there, and I'll see what I can get next month, and if not, we'll have a policy meeting or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am looking for people. It's just hard to find them.
Don't worry, I believe you. Well, anyway, you all have a great evening, and look forward to talking to you all soon.